Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the narrative technique which has been employed by Girishkarnad in his play Naga Mandala. So let's get started. Introduction to the play. Naga Mandala is written by Girish Karnad. He wrote this play in 1987 to 1988. This is based on two oral Kannada tales, A Story and Song and The Serpent Lover, which he had heard from his mentor, friend and philologist A.K. Ramanujan. Karnad also dedicated this play to Ramanujan. Narrative technique in Naga Mandala. Naga Mandala is a story within a story. Karnad has used the technique of recapitulating narration in Naga Mandala. He has employed the technique of framed story. One can also witness parallel stories in this play. The parallel story is that of Kuruduva and Kapanna. Four narration levels in this frame narrative. Focusing on the four different stories which make up the play Naga Mandala, we see that they are on four narrative levels. Frame story or the first narrative level. The frame story contains three other stories, each of one of them inside the previous story. On the first narrative level, the frame story tells about an author whose plays were so boring that the audience often fell asleep. For this crime, the author is condemned to death unless he manages to remain awake for one entire night before the end of that month. The night of this theatrical performance is precisely his last chance. As he says, I may be dead within the next few hours. The second narrative level. The second narrative level contains magical elements. The second is found by the gossip tale type tales that a group of personified flames tell each other when they gather at night after their work has ended. The flames choose to go to the same ruined temple where the author is bewailing. When he sees them arrive, he hides behind a pillar from where he closely follows their stories. The third narrative level. On the third narrative level, there is the tale told by one of the flames who wants to be forgiven for arriving late. The flame tells the tale about a woman who knew a beautiful story but refused to tell it and share it with the other people. One day, that story takes an advantage of the fact that the woman is sleeping with her mouth open, escapes, and is transformed into a young lady, and the song that accompanies it turns into her beautiful sari. The fourth narrative level. The story thus personified on the fourth narrative level relates the life of Rani, the main character of Naga Mandala. The need for the story to escape illustrates the paradoxical nature of oral tradition according to Karna. Intricate narrative structure. The moment when the main story, Rani's story, begins, the plot become interestingly complex from the point of view of structure, because there is an interaction between the narrator of this story, the personified story, the narrators of the previous stories, the unfortunate author and the flames. The author or narrator of the first level, who has been listening to second and third narrative levels, establishes a dialogue with the story's narrator of third level, and he suggests a name for the main masculine character in the central story, Apanna. Furthermore, they reach an agreement by which the author promises to retell the story, thus keeping it alive if it is interesting enough to keep him awake for the whole night. Geometrical symbol of Naga Mandala. So this is the geometrical symbol of Naga Mandala. The outer square box represent the frame narrative, and slowly if you proceed, the second circle is the second narrative level, the third circle is the third narrative level, while these two stars and they contain a triangle within itself. It also represents something like upward triangle are actually represent Korodova and Kapanna and the story of female Naga, and the downward triangle represent the story of Apanna, Rani and Cobra, and the inner small triangle represent the triple ending of the play, because the play has total 3 endings if you read it. So that's all for today. Thank you.